Well, good morning, everyone. This is a fantastic turnout, and I am so pleased to see that this is an issue of interest, and it just proves the commitment that the state has to fighting human trafficking. My name is Sarah Seafrid, and I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships with TAT, or Truckers Against Trafficking. On behalf of my organization, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us for this important announcement. Today marks the beginning of a pivotal statewide campaign to combat human trafficking. Throughout this partnership between TAT, TravelCenters of America, and the Office of the Ohio Attorney General, we are mobilizing Ohio's commercial drivers to play a critical role in identifying and reporting the crime of human trafficking. Together, we are turning Ohio's highways into a frontline defense against this heinous crime. One activity of this partnership is the creation and distribution of the bumper stickers that you all have on your seats. We are encouraging drivers across the state, when they see suspicious activity, to call the newly created Ohio Human Trafficking Hotline number, which is prominently displayed on these bumper stickers, which could save a life. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our first speaker, whose contributions have been pivotal to the success of this campaign. Debbie Baffa, CEO of TravelCenters of America, has been a steadfast supporter of TAT for many years and exemplifies an unwavering dedication to combating human trafficking. Please help me in welcoming Debbie to the podium.
Thank you, Sarah. And good morning, everyone. Welcome here to Westlake, Ohio, and the TravelCenters of America headquarters. I'm Debbie Boffer. I am the CEO of TravelCenters, and I'm so happy to have this opportunity to host everyone in this room today to launch what is such an important campaign. I would like to thank the Ohio Attorney General's Office, members of TAT, and all our guests and local partners who took the time to be here today. And thank you to the many TA team members that are also in the room who wanted to be part of this very important event. I'm proud to say that TravelCenters of America has been supporting TAT since 2011. As large travel centers operator located across all of the nation's highways, we are in a unique position. Our team members are the eyes and ears of the highway. And this is a responsibility that we do not take lightly. We are committed to help combat this crime. We're so proud in that we train our nearly 19,000 team members to look out for the signs of human trafficking and how to intervene. Last year, we relaunched our poster program across all of our sites, and this created a streamlined and seamless way for our sites to be able to install posters and information flyers at our sites to help professional drivers and our guests become aware of TAT's work. You'll be able to find these posters in all of our driver-facing areas, such as restrooms, laundries, and drivers' lounges. We're also committed to continuing our monetary support to TA. We've just donated $10,000 in recognition of Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and we will also continue giving a portion of our proceeds from our TA charity golf outing each year. And I'm so pleased to say that in 2024, we were able to donate $100,000 to TAT. So great work, TA team. In 2025, we're really excited to be partnering with TAT on a brand new initiative called Junction Briefings. This is where we bring together law enforcement and our truck stop or travel centre team members for hyper-local education sessions. We're launching the very first one in early March at our TA Commerce City location in Colorado. While I'm proud of all the things we do to support TAT, There is no words to describe the pride I have in our team members and the pride they take in helping others. Team members like Charles Burnson, our site general manager from Petro Florence, South Carolina. You will get to hear from him in a moment. Charles is an example of why we do what we do. Charles has shown us that we can make a difference, and we will continue educating our team members and supporting TAT's work. It's so important. It really does save lives. So thank you all again for coming out today, and it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you Dave Yost, our Ohio Attorney General. Dave.
Thank you. And I have to say, we are so grateful for TravelCenters of America partnership. And I might add that being in a car going around Ohio frequently, I'm a regular customer. Um, Human Trafficking Month has been a tradition under both parties for the last 15 years. The President of the United States has declared January Human Trafficking Month. I'm excited to be here today to celebrate the recognition of this month because human trafficking is something that happens in the shadows. It happens everywhere. Rich places, poor places, urban and rural and suburban. It touches all areas of our country, and it's hard to see. But it's there if you know what to look for, and to have tens of thousands of additional eyes and ears looking for the signs of human trafficking is a major addition to this fight. Truckers go everywhere. Um, and here's the other thing, traffickers go everywhere, and they stop at everything from fast food restaurants to truck stops. The opportunity for our friends who are in logistics and out on the road to be able to see something and say something is a massive force multiplier for us in this fight. And we are grateful to the Truckers Against Trafficking for their partnership. I want to emphasize, though, that you don't have to be a trucker for your eyes and ears to be in this fight. The new hotline is Ohio specific, and I want to make sure that everybody sees that. 844 and OHHT stands for and Ohio Human Trafficking. And this is not going to go to some national center where it gets routed through a bunch of different places and people trying to figure out where to go. And well, does that go to the township police or to the county sheriff? We know in Ohio, we know our law enforcement partners. We will get that information to the place that it needs to go. If it's a piece of information that needs to go to a social service provider, as opposed to law enforcement, we have those partnerships too, and we know how to link the information up to where it will do the most good. If you see something, please feel free to call that hotline and understand that this is going to do real good in real time. With that, I want to say thank you again for the partnership and turn it back over to our MC.
Well, thank you, Attorney General, for your unwavering dedication and support to combating this crime and empowering all Ohioans to take action. At this time, I'd like to share a short video highlighting Nikki's story. This is a powerful example of the life-saving impact that training and victim-centered approach can take. Let's watch as Nikki shares how a TA Petro general manager helped her escape her trafficker and begin her new life in freedom.
To my trafficker, I was just something he could profit off of. My trafficker chose what I had to do, who I had to do it with, how many I had to do it with, just felt broken. The day that I escaped, the trafficker left the room, and within, I'd say, a minute him leaving the room, I ran out the door. The only thing I could see in the sky was big letters that said TA, and I knew that truck stops are open 24 hours, and that's where I ran to. The only thing going through my mind was just not to look back and don't talk to anybody. I immediately ran right to the women's bathroom. I didn't trust anyone really.
My crew noticed that Nikki had been around for a couple days, actually. She was basically hiding in a corner. She didn't want to look anybody in the eyes. I could tell by the look on her face that things were not right. The day I encountered Nikki, I just went up to her and simply asked her if she's having trouble or if she'd like to go talk privately.
A manager was like, "What's going on?" And as soon as he asked me that, I just broke down crying and just let it all out. He gave me a blanket. He gave me a change of clothes. He told me I could help myself to the food and the drinks. He gave me a lot of respect.
My only thought was Nikki's safety. So I had no fear. I was just worried about Nikki and her safety.
He was soft spoken. That's what it was, his compassion and just not being judgmental. Just that little bit, I felt safe enough to fall asleep.
From that point on, Nikki seemed to be a lot more at ease, and she knew at that point that we were going to get her home. We quickly made a phone call to Truckers Against Trafficking, and we got her bus ticket. We went up to the bus stop downtown, and I made sure I didn't leave till the bus pulled out and that nobody was following her.
It took a lot of therapy, being on meds, just to be able to get through the anxiety of opening back up and talking to people again.
You hope you help somebody, but you never find out rarely what happens. I would give up any accolades or any thanks just to know that Nikki was back home safe and prospering. That makes me happier than anything that could possibly be.
Actions in that moment did truly help save Nikki's life. She not only survived her trafficking, but she is now thriving. And so, Nikki.
I don't think I ever saw her smile during a couple of days she was with us. I don't think she stopped smiling today. I couldn't be happier. My life is fuller for seeing her again.
He had nothing to gain from anything. He did it out of the kindness of his heart. If he never helped me, I guarantee they would have found me or caught me. It wouldn't have ended well.
It's the people like Nikki that's the true hero that had to go what she had to go through. The more that the stories get out, the more that people realize that we can make a difference.
His acts of kindness saved my life.
Wow. His act of kindness saved her life. What a powerful reminder of why we are here today. It's my honor and it's my pleasure to introduce Charles to the stage. He is an everyday hero that Tat talks about, who is going to share a few of his words about that experience in noticing Nikki, in offering her kindness and compassion and showing respect to her. So please help me welcome Charles Burnson to the stage.
Hi, and every time I see the video, I promise I'm not going to cry. And I still can't help it.
But first of all, I'd like to celebrate Nikki, the young lady that changed my life. People congratulate and thank me for what I did, but I know that all of the credit goes to Nikki and Tat. I attended my first Tat presentation roughly 10 years ago and attended many since. That was the structure that enabled my team to react the way it did on that sad but wonderful day when we met Nikki. But getting Nikki home was just the beginning of a long, incredibly hard road for her to reclaim her life and her soul. Many survivors do not make it out. Too many of them are lost on that perilous journey. So with the help of TAT and Travel Centers of America working together, hopefully there will be only success stories like Nikki's. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles, for your thoughtful words and shedding light on this important issue. Charles, his empathy for Nikki exemplifies the mission at TAT. Since 2009, Truckers Against Trafficking has worked tirelessly to educate, equip, empower, and mobilize members of key industries and agencies to recognize and report human trafficking. We believe that real change starts with training, education, and an awareness. And through this campaign, we hope to continue the work that Ohio has started by creating a mobile army that moves from passive bystanders to active disruptors. Human trafficking thrives on anonymity and control. We know that traffickers regularly transport and exploit their victims at places that are convenient and accessible. However, when traffickers are on the move, they're traveling the same roads and the same interstates and stopping at the same locations that all of us are, creating opportunities for victim recovery. Traffickers count on all of us to overlook what's right in front of us. But this campaign challenges all of you to take action. The bumper stickers and the digital messaging that will be soon displayed at TA locations across Ohio are designed to transform every set of eyes on our highways into potential allies in the fight against human trafficking. One call really could save a life. Thank you again for your attention and your support today. We now will open the floor for any questions. Yes. Yeah, so as you were coming in the building this morning, you saw what we call our Freedom Drivers Project, our FDP. The Freedom Drivers Project is a mobile exhibit that travels across North America. We are in different locations every month. It provides a glimpse into the reality of human trafficking. So it's a mobile exhibit. After we finish today, I hope all of you take a moment to go outside and take a tour of that exhibit. It won't take you more than 5 or 10 minutes. Inside, you will see some statistics and some information to give you a better understanding of the crime of human trafficking. It also has artifacts that survivors have shared with us that help share their story and put their story into their own words. So that's open after today's event, and I hope you all take a tour. If there are questions at the end, I know I will be available as we are doing tours and doing some photo opportunities. So please feel free to come up and ask those questions privately if you'd like. Yes. Absolutely. So I'm happy to answer that question. So human trafficking is a crime that's happening every day across America. This is not an issue that is unique to the state of Ohio. It is happening in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. And unfortunately, it is so easy to uh, not see because of the job that the traffickers are doing. So here are some things that you might be able to look for, some indicators or some red flags that the crime might be occurring. Oftentimes, there is a victim who appears to be under the control or manipulation of another person. Anytime you see a minor who is engaging in commercial sex, so selling any sexual service for anything of value, if they're under the age of 18, they're automatically considered a victim of human trafficking. If you're witnessing a situation that you think is prostitution or the selling of commercial sex for an adult, if there's a third person who's controlling or forcing that individual into the selling of that commercial sex, that is human trafficking. We want you to pick up the phone. We want you to notify law enforcement. Other signs that you may see would be someone who, in Charles's case, Nikki was loitering or hanging out around the travel center. You see something that is suspicious, it's out of place, someone who isn't the normal traveler, someone who may appear to be malnourished, not dressed according to the weather, so they might be wearing something that just looks out of place. You're always looking for that third party control, and you're always looking for someone who is either being forced into forced labor, which is labor trafficking, or forced commercial sex, which is sex trafficking. Another question?
Well, honestly, I don't think Northeast Ohio is unique on human trafficking. We see human trafficking in every corner of the state. One of the things I'm grateful for, though, is the partnerships that we have here. From Jerry Green over in Mahoning County through the ICAC task force here, Internet Crimes Against Children. We have fabulous groups of heroes in law enforcement and social services that are fighting not only to stop human trafficking, but to help the survivors find what we call the highway to hope. But to answer your question, I don't think that it is unique here, although, as you suggest, easy access to transportation is something that is a facilitating factor for human trafficking to occur. Ohio is within 500 miles of two-thirds of the United States population. We are right here in the center of America, so uh, the highway system is important, but it happens everywhere, is my message. So I think two things are happening. One is because of partnerships like we are talking about today, the awareness of human trafficking has jumped dramatically. And I think as people that are being trafficked are becoming aware that there is hope, that there's help out there, that we are seeing perhaps a little bit of a reaction there. But secondly, we have established additional task forces all across the state. Ohio has arguably done more than any state in the union on the fight against human trafficking. And so I think the numbers that you see about survivors as well as the cases and the arrests that we make here don't show that Ohio is a particular hotbed. It shows that once you turn on the light, you see what's really happening.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Carolyn. Yeah, so Truckers Against Trafficking, once again, our mission is to educate, equip, empower, and mobilize members of key industries and agencies to be able to combat this crime as part of their everyday jobs. To date, we've trained over 2 million individuals who are now registered and certified Truckers Against Trafficking. But our work doesn't end just with those over-the-road truck drivers. We interact with a variety of industries and sectors. A quick look at our website, which is tatnonprofit.org, will pull up our resource library, which is a professionally created, survivor informed gallery of both training resources and print and digital materials that we make available to the public free of charge. So I would encourage you to look at that. The second part of that question specifically asked about our Addressing Demand program. At TAT, we believe that in order for us to effectively combat human trafficking, we have to address the demand for commercial sex. We have to do a better job of creating a society in which the purchase of another human being for the purposes of sexual gratification is no longer seen as normal behavior. And so we created an entire curriculum and program addressing the demand for commercial sex. Thank you. It is already live. They are staffed and fully available to take any report or tip about human trafficking. Yes.
Yes, it did. Um, I'll quickly tell a story. Before the training, I've been doing the truck stop business for around 30 years. And I had a lady on our parking lot that I could not get her to leave. And I did all the things that an old guy would do. I'd yell at her, curse at her, get mad at her, had her arrested. And she passed away in jail the weekend we had her arrested. And it was shortly after that that we went to our first TAT presentation. And the signs that we're to look for, they won't look in your eye. 95% of the people that walk into a business, we greet them and they'll look you in the eye. They may say hello, they may not. But like Nikki, she would not look anybody in the eye. And I had an incident not too long ago where a lady was in a bathroom for 4 hours before we realized it. So if you have your eyes open, the behavior is there. But TAT trained us what to look for, and then we brought that back to our stores and trained our crew on it. And everybody that gets hired by our company goes through video training of a TAT presentation. And not only me, but my team knew. As soon as they realized she'd been there for 3 days, because it takes some time for all the crew to, with shifts coming and going, to realize it. But once they realized she was here, they knew something was wrong. You up?
I think we have time for one more question.
So that's a great question. And the answer is, to an extent, is determined by what jurisdiction the case occurs in. Our task forces, however, when we're out doing a sting or some kind of an enforcement operation, we always bring service providers with us. And if they need a shower, a meal, drug treatment, we have those resources available on the spot and work with the survivors to make sure that they get what they need, even if they've got a warrant, even if they've got some reason that they're going to interact with the criminal justice system. The second piece is if there is an arrest, and frequently we do not arrest, the task forces will issue a summons. But if they end up with an arrest and go into the criminal justice system, the many of our jurisdictions now have specialized dockets for human trafficking, where they have an opportunity to link with services and to work through a program. For example, in Franklin County, we have the catch. Did I hear? Is Judge Sonnenberg in the audience? Did I hear? There she is. You ought to come up here and tell you what you do here. Come on, Judge. Come on up here. I can't see you because of the lights. This is Judge Joan Sonnenberg, the Common Pleas Court in Cuyahoga County. She's got a specialized docket. I actually sat through one of her sessions, November, December. So tell the news media what you do.
Good morning. Thank you for your initiative. I appreciate this opportunity. Our concern, of course, is that people who are charged on a criminal docket who are also exploited people really need a way out and they need treatment. So what the Recovery Court does, it's a specialized Supreme Court certified docket, much like Catch Court in Franklin County, where if someone is identified as being a human trafficking victim, but also charged with a criminal offense and diagnosed with trauma and substance use disorder, which is very common, we put them on a path of treatment. This program is so important because we're trying to increase awareness, destigmatize, and there's no blame game here. This can happen to anybody in any neighborhood. So if you do recognize that someone may be involved as a victim of human trafficking, being ensnared in the criminal justice system does not mean that they can't get help. We are trauma-informed, a team of trauma-informed clinicians. We are strictly clinically driven. To be on the team, though, we have to have a heart. We appreciate community partnerships because we do want women, mostly women are on our docket, but people who are victims of human trafficking to have an opportunity to heal. It's ultimately affecting family members. We want people to survive, get out of this, but respond as a community where we can recognize that sometimes people can get in this type of a situation by no choice of their own. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Also, thank you for coming to our Recovery Court. And you're all welcome. We have graduations every once in a while. If you're interested in attending our next one to see how people overcome these hurdles and persevere and prosper, as you saw with Nikki's story, it's so amazing. We worry about the Nickies that don't get discovered, but we are also very grateful for law enforcement who are sensitive and respectful to people who are victimized by human trafficking and in the criminal justice system. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks, General.
Thank you, Judge. All right, well, this will conclude our program today. Please remember to take a tour outside of our Freedom Drivers Project. And before we close, I would be remiss to just acknowledge the victim service providers, law enforcement, state and government agencies who are in the room, who are doing the work every day to protect victims and to provide that education and training within your state. So this is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. They have been very busy all month with a variety of initiatives and work. That work does not end today. So I just wanted to acknowledge the great work that's being done within the state of Ohio. Thank you.